Hello, good night, morning, and good afternoon or good evening, whatever time of the day it is for you over there. This is Isio Mailoba bringing you another episode of this wonderful, exciting get together that we've had daily for a couple of weeks now. This is informational session to help to introduce women to the fact that a lot of the times we believe that we don't have any choice in the life that we are leading. We sometimes inadvertently say a prisoner to our circumstances, and in doing so, we surrender the glorious life that we are meant to lead. And that comes from a very long lineage of incredible trauma that we and our ancestors may have had to endure to be able to survive. Very often, as is human nature, there's nothing wrong with it, in an attempt to survive, we are willing to do anything to get through the day, just to get through the month and the year. And that has its place. But now, many of us are not in that phase anymore. Many of us are now able to live a comparatively liberated life where we can take the job we choose, marry the spouses we have, date whoever it is we prefer, have the number of children that we prefer to have, get a couple of dogs and cats if that's your thing, um, eat what is healthy or what you can afford. We have so many choices now that our ancestors have. But because our DNA carries not only the physical qualities of your ears, your hair, your facial disposition, your physical body characteristics, it also carries within it information that decides how you conduct yourself, how you see the world, how our parents and our grandparents and the parents before them, how many generations ago, how they found ways to survive. And that information is still being lived through your own physical experience. You may not know why you have certain characteristics. I remember a while ago, I had a girlfriend that I reconnected with, and she lived her life in sheer terror of anything panic in her. I mean, everything caused excruciating panic. She was terrified of simple things like a simple email or her spouse that she's connected with. And I couldn't understand it at that time. I said, what is she afraid of? Okay, maybe she's terrified of her husband, but even emails from other associates or friends would trigger extraordinary fear in her. And it took a while for fear was irrational. But at that time, I couldn't understand why is a grown woman behave a terrified way. But now I understand after having mulled it over and thought it over I now finally understand that she could ancestors that she's now bringing into the present moment. The beautiful thing is that now it has come into her life. She has the ability to break that pattern. She has the opportunity of creating a new reality because what our ancestors have given can also be passed on to our ancestors so that none of them would have their other children and grandchildren live in prisoner as a prisoner to their years. Why do I say this because I have been gifted an extraordinary privilege of bringing the wisdom from a most amazing gentleman who has been my teacher for many, 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 many years. And his lineage, his name is Dr. and Master Zhigang Shah, and his lineage is 373 persons strong. One person after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, for 373 individuals through history. And because the extraordinary, pristine intent with which this wisdom was, I am now able to share insights, wisdom, practical tools and techniques with the modern woman so that we all can be free from the invisible binds that have bound us to our past. We do not have to live with the past anymore. We can take steps. And so today is surrounded by, or is based on the sweetness of knowing that we have the freedom to make our own choices. We have that freedom. Yes, it's understandable. Sometimes we may not realize that we have this freedom. But have you ever asked why you don't have that freedom? We sometimes live in the illusion that we are powerless and that stepping out of that territory would possibly break us. But have you ever thought that it could actually make us? It could actually develop, be the foundation upon which you can now rise. Excellence, the next level of leadership, the next level of feminine power, the next level of the yin essence, the queen that you are. And you may not be able to tell where you are and where you want to be. You may not be able to see the distant future. What step can you take now? What's the next best step? I know I have been guilty of wanting to understand the entire road ahead of me, right? Because I want to see it all before I start walking down that road. I want to see the bridge that I'm going to walk on. But that is human nature wanting to be safe before we actually start on the journey. But the spiritual life doesn't quite work. It requires you to grab a hold of the invisible realm that is here to support you, your angels, your guides, your shifus, your spiritual fathers and mothers. Those are the solid ground upon which you can stand. And there was once I got a card from a very dear friend that spoke to exactly that point. And this card read, I'll never forget the words. The words still, I read the card every day. Visually, I remember the words. The words go like this: when you come to the edge of all that you know, you will one of two choices: walk on groundless ground or fly with wings you didn't know you had. That is a spiritual journey. That is a journey that you and every human being is. But the role and the way that the woman walks his journey is going to be different from the way that the man walks his journey. And so in the past episodes, I spoke very, very powerfully and very convincingly about women in an attempt to live in a masculine dominated world. We have somehow felt it was necessary to abandon our to be able to reach milestones and reach goals that are present in the masculine dominated world in which we live. And in another episode, I specifically mentioned that a stick cannot be broken into two and still remain a stick. If you're required to break a part of you that is authentically you to become something that you're not. Well, you just gave up your true identity. You lost the game before it even started. You have surrendered your birthright because God, in His infinite wisdom, the universal one field. I don't, this is not a religious discussion. It just, but whatever religion you believe in, think about the creator that you call whatever name you have in your tradition, whether it's Allah, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Mother Mary, whether it's Kuan Yin, it doesn't matter. Think about the universal creator that made everyone and everything. Do you think that he made the field as an accident, or it was just a by thought? Or, okay, this thing in place, but I just want to schmeckle the remaining part of the mud that I have and make it into the female, and let's see what's going to happen. I don't think so, because we are brilliant. We are powerful. There's nothing we cannot do. And that is why we're entrusted with the responsibility of carrying children. We carry fortunes to generations to generations. Without women, we would not be able to have the world populated the way it is today. Because we are very unique and very special in the eyes of the Maker, the one who made all of us. So giving up our birthright is not really part of the plan, is my point. We now have to find ways to come back home to all that we are, because that is where our destiny lies. Women are born to lead in a way that only women can lead and to deliver the goods that only women can deliver in ways that only women can present and in the ways that only women can win and conquer. And I'm not talking about Jezebel in the Bible or other misfits in history. You know, the women who would wild and trick you and manipulate. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about authentic power. The kind that when you stand up, everybody listens because you're speaking from your soul, not just from your mind. When your soul is aligned with your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your physical body, you carry extraordinary power that no one else can resist. When you take your time to speak from that place of groundedness, the whole world parts the sea, and you can now walk across groundless grounds. And that is what I want to introduce you to during my amazing program that I'm presenting to women worldwide, Flowers of Transformation, the blossoming of your feminine power. This is what we have been waiting for a long time. Whether you're in the corporate sector, boardroom, whether you're in the back room or in the middle room or in the front room, occupy, whether professionally, privately, religiously, in your spiritual organizations, Jewish, Catholic, Protestant, Buddhist, Hindu, it doesn't matter. This is a place where all women can come together to learn what else can we do that's going to enhance our ability to move forward on our soul journey. Our souls are dying to deliver the gifts that we have been given. But because many of us are we feel empty on the inside. We've gotten the white picket fence, we've gotten the house painted red, we've gotten the spouse that is fantastic looking and delivers on all fronts, maybe, maybe not. But to the external eye, we've gotten some of the dreams that everybody wishes that they had. And yet many of us women ring hollow. Part of you is dying. literally dying because you've recognized that something is missing and you cannot put your finger on it. If that is you, join me on the 28th for an amazing 2 hour session where we are going to go deep into this subject. And you will discover things that all of a sudden start making sense. You realize, oh my gosh, this makes absolute sense. And so put your hand up and join me in saying this short invocation to help us wake up and take ways that will benefit you and your descendants, your children, your spouse, your lover, your friends. Let's connect heart to heart, soul to soul, and say this short invocation or prayer together. And you can close your eyes, hand on your heart, because this is a heart centered practice. And you can say this with me: Divine, dear God, dear the source of all creation that has made everyone and everything and has made me. I love you. I honor you. I appreciate you. And if you're an atheist, you can connect with Mother Earth or the Sun. And we continue the invocation. I love, honor, and appreciate you. I'm so grateful to realize I can do something more to serve at my best at this time on Mother Earth, where Mother Earth needs us to come together to help us get through this difficult time, locally and on the broader scale. Can you please help me, guide me, nourish me, help me to see what actions I can take as a woman to help me elevate my service? Help me recognize what it is I need to do differently so that I can deliver the services that only I can deliver at this time. Please help me find a way to take action that is needed for me to reconcile that where I am does not have to be where I have to end up. That there are several steps I can take starting right now to fully embrace the destiny that awaits me, that I am supposed to partake in and maybe even lead. I am so grateful for this opportunity to open, to present itself, for me to engage with it. Please send me messages through people, through online sources, or whatever you choose, so that I can recognize very clearly what's the best way for me to proceed. I am so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your blessings. Cannot thank you enough. How, how? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I'm not a pastor. I'm not any leader in any religious organization, but I know the power of prayer. And I know that when you initiate that conversation with your maker, all of a sudden things begin to shift. You begin to get aha moments. It could also mean that some doors are going to be closed because you're not meant to walk that through that door. And other ones will all of a sudden magically open up. And the one that is right before you now is this event taking place on the 28th. Join me. I look forward to serving you. I look forward to serving your friends, your colleagues, your sisters, your nieces, your mothers, your grandmothers. Share this message with all the women that you know, because very often we women, we suffer in silence. We stomach and holding And very often you may not be aware of the ones that are suffering. But yet, when you send it to them, all of a sudden, their hearts are so grateful that you chose to share this message with them. I thank you for stopping by. Thank you for taking action. Have a wonderful rest of the day. It's going to be awesome when I connect with you on the 28th. Take care and bye bye.